So you want to boost your credit limit, but you keep getting denied for that increase. You're not alone. Today, I'm going to share a bunch of good strategies for you to implement to get a higher credit limit. Some things that I've used in the past personally. Let's get into it. Before I get into the first strategy, I just want to quickly address if you're thinking, why would I want a higher credit limit if I'm not even going to use that much credit limit? And the simple answer is it affects your entire credit history and credit score. It directly affects your credit utilization, which is 30% of your actual credit score. So a higher credit limit could mean a better credit score, lower interest rates, and just more financial freedom. Okay, so method number one, and this is for you folks that have lower limit credit cards and you're really trying to get up into like the $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 limits. So method number one is going to be spend as much as possible on this card and get as close to the limit as you can. Now, this is mainly for those of you that are just kind of starting out on your credit card journey and you have a lower limit, like a $500, $700, maybe $1,000 credit limit. Now, you want to spend as much as you can afford to pay off by the due date. So I'm not saying max out your card and then make the bare minimum payment. What I want you to do is max it out as far as you can and pay it off in full every month for the first 6 months of using the card. So if your credit limit is only $500, use every single expense you can possibly put on there on the credit card. Don't use your debit card at all for the entire month and pay off that credit card in full before the due date. The credit card company is going to see that you use the card a lot and you're using it all the way to its limit. And they're going to think, you know what? They pay it off every single month in full. They need some more money to spend. And that's how you get your credit limit increased with this. So method number two, I just had to put this in there for anyone that doesn't know it's a thing, but you can regularly ask for credit increases. So method number two is just to plain up ask. Now you can ask a couple different ways. Most credit card issuers are going to have a way for you to just request it online and it'll ask you some basic questions about updating your income and then it will give you the decision right there on the app. Some people say you have more success of getting an increase if you call in and actually speak to a person. I'm not sure if that's really true, but that is something that is said out there. Personally, I've always just used the app or the online feature to request the credit increase. The next method is pretty straightforward, but it's just making sure that you always have your income updated on the credit card company's website. So there is going to be a section for you to update your income on the credit card app or the credit card website. So what you'll do is you'll go to your credit card's website or the app, you'll find update income, and then you will enter in your new annual income if it's been updated. Okay, and a little tip as far as this one goes is you can use all of your income. So don't think of this strictly as your W-2 full-time job income. If you have like a little side business with eBay, or if you do Uber on the side, or you do little gigs, whatever it might be, if you make a little bit extra income here and there throughout the year, or if you have a spouse that has a income as well that contributes to the bills, you can use that income all as household income when updating it. Some people argue about using the spouse's income, so use that as you wish. Personally, I've never had problems doing that, and I've never actually even had a credit card company ask me to prove my income. But obviously, you don't want to just blatantly lie either. Personally, I have seen this work. I have updated my income on Chase's account before and got a significant increase the next month offered to me because of my income increase. So use this, make sure you're updating it throughout the year as things change, as your projections change for your yearly salary, and you'll see some increases come along. So a quick bonus before I get into the last method I want to talk about is just, I want to give you guys 3 different credit cards that I really do recommend for higher limits. So let's get into those real quick. The first one is my favorite. It's the Discover It Cashback. This one's going to have rewards with it with the cashback function, and the credit limit that this starts with is usually pretty high. The next card is going to be the Chase Sapphire Preferred. Instead of the Reserved, which is the really high-end card, this one is still a very good card that has a very high limit to start. So check this one out. The last one is the Capital One Venture card. Now this is a little bit of a better approval odds card, but still starts with a very high-end credit limit. So take a look at this one as well. Okay, let's get into the last method, but before I do, just want to ask you, if you are still watching the video, give us a like on this video and subscribe for more content like this. Again, we're trying to make about 3 or 4 videos on this channel every week. So give us a subscribe if you're into the personal finance or want some help and tricks and tips along the way on your journey. So this method's a little tricky because you do need some help from a family or friend, but it's become an authorized user on a different card that isn't yours. So if you have a friend or family member that has a very good card with no missed payments, I can't stress that enough. You don't want to inherit a missed payment if you don't have one. So no missed payments on their credit report for this card, and they've had this card for over 2 years. This is perfect for them to just add you as an authorized user. And the reason this is a good hack or a good method is because if you go for a credit line increase on another card in a month or two, they're going to see, oh, they got added to this card with a $10,000 credit limit, a $5,000 credit limit. Maybe we should up his from this 500 or 750 credit limit to 1,500, 2,000, 5,000. The awesome thing about this method is you need no credit inquiry. You're not having to qualify for the card. All you need is a friend or family member that just says, hey, I trust this person, I'm going to put them on my card, and then you're added, and that credit limit gets added to your credit report, and you inherit all of that good credit history immediately. So then when you go and apply for a credit increase on your card, it sees that card on there and it's like, oh, they've had this card for 2 years, we didn't know, let's increase the limit. Stop. Let me leave you with a couple things of what just not to do. Do not request a credit limit increase every single month. I see people do this. Do not try to get a limit increase on your card every week, every month. You want to do this maybe 4 times a year. The reason you don't want to do this is banks do not see this as a positive thing. They think you're desperate trying to get more credit limit, and they think it's like you're desperate for the money or something. So do not do this. They will automatically start just declining you if you request it too often. The next thing you just cannot do is use all of your credit limit. Never do this. Again, 10 to 30% is the max. You never want to be above 30. Ideally, you always want to be below 10. Another thing you just don't want to do is lie about your income. Now listen, you can kind of fudge it a little bit with the spouse and the household income and that sort of thing, or side hustles, but don't put anything crazy on there that just doesn't make sense. If you put on there that you are employed at Starbucks, don't try to put on there that you make $500,000 a year. They know you're full of shit. Don't do that. Now I need to know from you. If you watched this video all the way through, I need to know, what have you done in the past that's worked? What have you done in the past that hasn't worked? Any of the stuff in the video that has or hasn't worked for you? Do you have any questions? Leave the comments below. I'm a smaller channel. I'm going to reply to every comment. I'm here to hang out with you guys, help you, give you some value, and also learn, because let's not bullshit. I'm not an expert. This is just kind of things I've learned along the way to try to help for you guys as well. So if you guys have anything to say, I'd love to hear you in the comments, but please like the video, give us a subscribe. Again, 3 to 4 videos a week coming out of this channel. So I'd love to see you guys back. Appreciate y'all for being here. See you in the next video.